Are you struggling to pay off your student loan debt? Are you like me, who perhaps went and made the decision to go to college and now you're stuck with crippling debt and you're just chipping away at it, and maybe you're someone who's put yourself in forbearance, which is you just postponing that loan, you're not paying it, maybe you're just paying the interest just to get by, or you are stuck in this loop of paying and not seeing any of your student loan get chipped away. Well, I came across this news article today in Forbes magazine. Forbes article is really saying maybe a major halt on some popular student loan repayment plans that could eventually forgive student loans. Now, this ruling could affect millions of people right now that are trying to get their student loans forgiven after years of making payments. The SAVE plan, which started back in 2023, was designed to help people make lower monthly payments based on their income and family size, and it promised to forgive the loan balance after 20 to 25 years. And this is why I hate getting involved in any of these ones where they tell you they're going to forgive your loan. It usually never works that way. I mean, you miss a payment or two or something goes wrong and you're back to square one. Part is the court ruled that the SAFE plan might be too generous and goes beyond what Congress intended when it made the law. Now, the court suggested that the SAFE plan could get canceled altogether, and this could lead to higher monthly payments. As someone who's had my loan passed around to different collection agencies, I know this feeling of just like, what's going to happen next? Who's my loan going to, and who am I going to be making payments to? Since August of 2023, people who were enrolled in the SAVE have been in a forbearance or a pause on payments, and this pause will likely continue through most of 2025. The downside of this, time spent in forbearance doesn't count toward loan forgiveness, meaning borrowers won't make any progress toward having their loans forgiven during this time. People can switch to other plans, but those plans may cost them more. Other repayment plans are affected too. There are two other repayment plans: income, which is contingent repayment, ICR, or pay as you earn, and you might also lose the loan forgiveness feature. The court thinks Congress didn't mean for loan forgiveness to apply to these plans, even though the Department of Education and many advocates have argued otherwise. Income-based repayment, IBR plan. The IBR plan is a bit different though. It was set up by Congress in 2007 and does allow for forgiveness after 20 to 25 years. So this plan is not in danger, and the court has agreed that forgiveness is still allowed for IBR. Now, good news. If you are on ICR or PAYE, pay or save, and switch to IBR, you won't lose the progress you've made toward forgiveness under those plans. So the Public Service Loan Forgiveness, or PSLF, is unaffected. The PSLF program, which offers forgiveness after 10 years for people working in public service, all these public service jobs, they're not impacted by this ruling. If you're on a qualifying plan like IBR, your payments still count toward PSLF. So what could happen next? The legal battle isn't over yet. The case will go back to lower court, and there could be more changes ahead. Now, Congress might step in and change the rules for all repayment plans. And the bottom line is, if you are on the SAVE plan, there is a chance you could lose the forgiveness benefits and you might end up paying more. I doubt this though. I think this is just a scare tactic that the left like to push because, again, this is from Forbes magazine. This is what they're pushing here. Remember, the PSLF and IBR are still safe, but it's important to stay updated as this situation develops. Now that I've explained it based on what I've read there, I want to talk about what I think would be better solutions. I talked about income-driven repayment, IDR, with clear forgiveness guidelines. Now, I believe that they could streamline and simplify IDR plans so borrowers like myself pay a reasonable amount based on their income and family size, but with clear and consistent forgiveness terms. That's why I think it's a scare tactic. I think they're scaring people to think that it's not going to be forgiven. It will, because you've been paying, all right? I mean, people don't like confusion. No one does. Instead of this complex save and pay plan, create one flexible IDR plan where everyone knows that if they make consistent payments for a set number of years, their remaining debt will be wiped away. This can be automatically adjusted to income, so it's always fair. Then they could have more transparent interest rates. I know the interest rates should be tied to income levels or inflation rates, not a fixed number that doesn't take people's financial struggles into account. This has been an ongoing problem even for myself. You know, the interest rates or the inflation of a person's income would make it more adaptable and fair, reducing financial pressure. I would also say forgiveness for everyone after a certain time period. Forgive remaining loan balances after 20 to 25 years for everyone who's been consistent. Operative word there, consistent with payments, regardless of the repayment plan. Now, borrowers know that as long as they stay consistent with a plan, after a reasonable period, their loans will be forgiven. It's less about arbitrary cutoffs and more about long-term commitment to paying off the loan. Obvious one is job-based forgiveness for public service workers. Now, I would say expand the public service for loan forgiveness, PSLF program, to include more types of jobs, including nonprofit, healthcare, and other essential public service. Now, during the pandemic, we saw that a lot of essential workers were people who were actually preparing, making food, and working in grocery stores even. This was like, they were considered essential workers. They were doing a public service. Work in any kind of field of healthcare, not just nurses or doctors. Would encourage people to work in jobs that benefit society on a whole. Fifth, and most important, I would support graduates, people who are struggling to find jobs. You got to create an automatic temporary forbearance for lower payment options for graduates who are still struggling to find a job in their field. Now, I've had forbearance after forbearance, so I know that you can do that, but I would make it like, so if they earn below a certain income threshold, I think graduates who are struggling to find work shouldn't be penalized with skyrocketing, interest and fees. And this is something I experienced and I didn't know better. It's just like, if I knew I could have just been paying on the interest, I would have just done that. I mean, a lot of kids, when they get out of college, they're not financially stable. You make it automatic, an automatic permission to make zero monthly payments, $0 for the first year, or a very, very low monthly payment with no interest accumulation. Universal access to financial literacy education. Integrate some financial education into high school and college curriculums. I think a lot of kids are coming out of school not knowing how to manage their debt, not understanding budgeting or understanding loan terms before they take out loans. I mean, I know I made all these master promissory notes, saying, yeah, I promise to pay this back, not knowing what I was getting into. And you can't count on college advisors for squat. It's most embarrassing to say how many classes I took that were unnecessary or how many times I changed my major. So budgeting, right? Understanding student loans and setting realistic financial goals, right? This would ensure that people are better prepared for life after they graduate. Now, I would say the last couple would be, employer student loan repayment assistance, create tax incentives for employers to contribute perhaps to employee student loan payments. This would be similar to how some companies offer health insurance or retirement benefits, especially for those with higher amounts of debt, people who are graduating and going to become a doctor. Now a company might match employees' student loan payments up to, say, $200 a month, helping to reduce that loan balance faster without putting extra financial strain on the borrower. Final thoughts about this situation around student loans, not just Biden and what he did and how he just made this blanketed thing that was like, I was like, are these people truly educated? Like, what are they doing? This is unfair, number one, to people who have paid off all their loans in the past. It's unfair to people who have been paying on their loans and they've been trying their best to pay off their loans. It's just unfair altogether. I think with all of these things I put forth here, we could create a system that works better for borrowers and taxpayers alike. So you guys tell me what you think about these ideas and would they help people handle student loans better? I truly don't believe in, free handout or free ride for just for anyone, especially after years and years of Americans paying off their student loans, my husband being one of them. And I'm still chipping away. I still have some for mine. So if you guys want to throw your girl a bone every now and then, I am trying to put videos out daily to, give information in a fair and balanced way. Donald Trump could do something about this. I don't know. He probably won't see this video. Plus, he has extremely smart, intelligent people working in his administration. I really do hope they do something about it for my sake, as well as many other Americans that are struggling right now going, okay, well, when my loan kicks back in, I got to start paying again, or, paying more so I can chip away and get rid of this ridiculous cost that I burden myself with. If you enjoyed this content today, or you just like these type of conversations, be sure to hit the subscribe button. I do respond to as many comments as possible. Remember, as always, think for yourself and have a great day.